So here we are looking at Lake Geneva, where Team Esprit did the boldor in the boat called Whituby. And the course is basically from down here in Geneva all the way to Tony Mark up here and back again, Bouveret barge. And the interesting thing is that the short direction is the side of the lake with no wind. And so there tends to be more wind on the far side, but obviously it's a lot longer. So over 550 boats did this race, and let's see what a 550 boat start line looks at. Here we are, this is 11 seconds to the start of the race. And that's what the multi-hulls are all out there in front, they're a bit raggedy. And this is the rest of us, there's a few OCS already. And the Grand Surprises, of which there were 33, down here. And here's, you see they all tend to run the line, and this red one here is Whituby, and we were the only ones who were sort of heading out the line, had some speed and had a little bit of a gap. I think I pulled the trigger a couple of seconds too early, otherwise we would have got a really good start. You can see it a little bit better if I just turn off all the other boats and just look at the Grand Surprises. So here we are here, Grand Surprises going in the line, that's Whituby there. I pulled the trigger already to sail into this gap here, and so I have to back off a touch. But let's see how it went. So off we go. We had hit the line at speed, 10th over the line, but had clear air, which is pretty good. And we're able to lift over the purple boat there, get them behind. And we're going pretty good. And most importantly is that the course is off to the right. So we wanted the ability to tack fairly soon and get clear of everybody else, and we're doing pretty good against the boats to the right of us. And let's speed this up a little. Let's see what happens. So we're up into 9th place there, it's still in clear breeze, getting a little bit of a lead now, so we tacked away. Let's speed this up, here we go. And the good thing is we got all the way over to the right, and as we did, we got better breeze, gain, we're up into 3rd place by the time, or 4th place there. And so here we are on the right. And just remember, that's just the Grand Surprises, and we can see what everyone else is doing. Let's really like that. Okay, let's just go back to the Grand Surprises. And so we worked that right bank. We right shoreline, we did 33 tacks up this little bit here. Let's a little bit more speed. See how it went. And we were going pretty good. We were basically in touch with the leaders. No boats sailed through us. We were able to keep clear air. We had good boat speed. Here we go, working that shoreline. Some boats had already chosen to go the far side on the other side of the lake. But this is what's called the petty lake, the little end of it. They're really just picking where they want to be as they leave. So still working that shoreline. A bit faster. So somewhere along here I passed the helm over to Jan. Oh yeah, we had a little bit of emergency tack there into 3rd, working our way here. Up and 4th, so still dicing the leaders. The far side doesn't look like it's working out. And now we can start cracking off a little bit. Here we go. Out of the little lake into the main lake. Looking pretty good. So there's the first transit, which is to roll or something. We were 4th across that transit, and pretty soon up into 2nd. So 2nd on the water. We can almost see that far mark just around the corner. Looks like we've got all the height we need. Everything's going great. What could possibly go wrong? Well, the wind starts dying off a little bit, so we just did a tack to change it from the jib to the genoa. Lost a place initially, but we were able to get that back again with the extra boat speed. All looking fabulous. What could possibly go wrong, eh? We could, basically see that mark. Now just sail straight to it, you'd think. Oh well. It started to get light, and we knocked off a little bit here, but we thought we could see wind ahead, and there was wind ahead, but we couldn't get to it. At this stage I'd gone below to look at the tracker, because these boats that all streaming past us up here on the left We just got it beyond visual range, you couldn't quite see it. And unfortunately I couldn't get the tracker to work. If I could see this view, it was clear as day that we should have tacked way back there. But we persevered with it and ran into a wall, an absolute wall. You can see spinning around there. We're now back in 9th place, 10th place. Oh, what a disaster. Not fun at all. Apsara, who'd been leading from the start, she'd sort of stayed higher than us and then tacked as soon as she got into that light breeze, and so she maintained her lead. If we'd tacked back here rather than knocking, we'd probably be up there with these guys here. Second or third to the mark. As it is, we're back in 18th of a fleet of 33. Here's the tail end, Charlie, or 31. I think 2 didn't start. Well, there were some early collisions actually. And we're still struggling for air. But then these guys are as well. When we could see the boats up ahead, they didn't have, the ones we could see were stalled as well. So it didn't look like there was more wind up ahead. We looked past them, there was. And eventually they get into a completely different breeze. These guys now got kites up, getting to the mark. And so we were working our way up. And well, no, here we're still trying to get to the mark. I think we do another dig up before we can get the spinnaker on. Let's get past this painful bit. So the first Grand Surprises are around the mark and we've got miles to go. It's still very difficult to get into that into this boat, so all got the spinnakers up by now. Up we go, up we go. Now we've got the kite on. Down we go. Getting some nice boat speeds finally. Now it was quite tactical rounding though, because luckily we knew that there was no wind over here where these boats were heading, because we'd been there. So we immediately bore away, even though if you want hard work, you come over here. So these boats all stopped, and like Pump It Up, we eventually beat them, and we're investing really to get back up over the wind. We'd learnt our lesson. Up we go, still 18th, but we're getting in a much better position, and we get to the different breeze, or well, the original breeze that we're in much sooner. These guys up front, they're under kite, zooming away, 9 knots type thing. I think we're cracked off a little bit now, and we've passed a few boats. And let's get going a little faster again. And we got a lot of ground to make up. So we were second, could see the top mark, and 18th by the time we got there. But now, how are we doing? 8th. So I think we, probably just changing from the cracked off a Genoa to a kite. And then the wind started blowing, and it was a really, really lovely run back. So we've got speed over ground 10s, keeps going. Let's go a little bit faster here, get us to the finish. Still 10s. Maybe 11.5. That's a sustain. We're seeing a little burst up to 14s. Still 10s, 11s. Slow it up for the finish. And a good jibe. All our boat handling was pretty good. We had one bad jibe. Where we did a little bit of a roundup afterwards, but pretty good. It was, high 20s was the wind. What's at that speed here, still doing 10 knots. On flat water, it's pretty good to go those sort of boat speeds. And we're still 11th, so we've overtaken 7 boats on the run so far. And I think we pipped one more just before the end there. Well, I'm not too sure how they're working out that distance. And there we go, 10th home. And we actually got 9th overall because Sabuya was retired from the race after a collision. So that we were home in 11 hours. But let's not forget that that's just our division, and really this is what the race really looks like, with all those boats still out there, still racing away. And while we were finished, there were still boats going the other direction, and some of them took well over 20 hours to finish. It was a great race, very tactical. I like the fact that the shortest distance is the fluky wind, and so you've got a choice between good wind and long distance, or taking your risks and inshore. Obviously, with a retrospectoscope, we made a wrong decision, but it felt like the right one at the time, and we were on for a good result. But I'll take 9th out of 33 Grand Surprises, and I think we were 110th over the line overall, and on the combined handicap, 67th out of 560 odd votes. Pretty good. I'll take that. Okay. Thank you very much to Eves and Benno for the use of whituby. It was great, and well sailed, Team Esprit. Catch you all later.